Hello, my name is Greg Shue, and this is my final project presentation for ARH 609 Intermediate Design Studio 1. The topic of this studio course was Nordic Flip, and it was an exploration of the implications of designing for extreme conditions. The site of the project lies within the Nordic region in a small town in western Finland. The design problem focuses on finding architectural solutions to the challenges of extreme weather conditions. Nordic Flip refers to the fact that Finland transforms culturally, climatically, visually, and physically from the summer to winter months. The site can be described as waterfront. It's bounded on three sides, north, west, and south by undeveloped um, land, and on the east by water. And the program for the project was called Reflexive Recreation, and that describes a place where people can enjoy the peace and quiet of nature or participate in exercises, activities, classes, and or shopping. So nature was a significant portion of this program and is also a culturally important aspect to the people of Finland. Let's see. So the program was developed in a way that there were some recreational activities connected with some commercial things, commercial spaces, and also there was a variety of types of housing. This program diagram lent itself to a U-shaped building with a green here adjacent to the water, with a boathouse and workshop flanking the marina. The program diagram was studied in terms of massing, and it was determined that this U-shaped building would be possible. And in further study, kind of got me to the relative heights of these different spaces. Which ones are most important? How are they important? So from that massing study, a formal exploration took place in which this became a study about being a landform, a building form based on land masses that were remnants of glacial movement. So here you can see how this kind of draping effect over the masses led to this form, and the color coding here can be seen: commercial blue, utility green, leisure tan, the site is the gold color, and red is the residential zones. Here's a perspective of the formal exploration. You can kind of see how the undulations really start to dramatically affect what was once not really that exciting. The water is on this end, the road is on this end. So after that was determined, because the building was so undulating, the steel mesh structure was determined to be the most flexible in terms of being able to construct this building, and the flexibility in that kind of structural vocabulary. And then also, as part of being the building fitting in with the natural setting, undeveloped site, no development around the site, it was determined that a performative vegetative wall would be employed as part of the steel mesh to help the building fit in contextually with its site and surrounding undeveloped areas. So after all that was determined, it became important to start kind of zeroing in on the specifics. And here's the first floor plan with the workshop, the classrooms, basketball courts, pool, bath and sauna areas, on this northern wing. In the middle was the ski lodge, the lobby, the cafe, snowmobile storage and rental. And then that was separated by a tunnel to the north wing, and then also to the south wing there was a tunnel. Then in the south wing there's the boathouse, a lobby for waterborne arrivals, different kinds of housing, long-term, short-term, and staff housing. The second floor kind of responds to the undulating character of the building form, with an abbreviated northern wing here with admin offices in the middle over the ski lodge, and a continuation of the housing and boathouse storage on the southern wing. The building section shows how the panels of either glass or fenestration or the vegetation panels fit into the framework of the steel framework. Plenum was utilized to help enclose HVAC, electrical, communication, all those plumbing, all those kind of building services that would help to keep the interior kind of neat and clean as an aesthetic. You can see there's a parking level, a first floor here that's basically flush with the ground, then a second floor with a variation of windows and skylights. So the building sections here show how the glass generally works. These thin lines are the glass areas, and the thick lines are the vegetative wall panels. And you can see how the second floor is very different in character than the first floor, but still there are the relatively similar tunnel shapes that are going on at the first floor. Generally, the approach for locating windows was to locate them along the north faces of the wings or of the building elements, so that the even north light was more or less constant when there was a lot of sunlight, and that the southern walls, the southern facing surfaces, would be useful for passive heating during the cold and warm months, cooling and heating during the throughout the year. So here in the rendering you can see that the site is wooded to the north, more or less wooded to the west, mostly wooded to the south. There's little to no development around the site, so this design was essentially a response to that context and trying to blend in as ecologically sustainably as possible while still being a technologically advanced venue for recreation and relaxation. Here's the view from the road. You can see the tunnels here and how the top undulates and becomes, I think, clearly useful for recreation in terms of hiking or just hanging out, get the vistas from the top, or in the winter months skiing or snowboarding or other kind of recreational activities like that. The view from the water shows kind of how the marina would work, and you can see the southern facing surfaces being vegetative and the northern facing surfaces being glassed. This interior view shows a view out into the courtyard from the administrative offices towards the water. And finally, the model, you can kind of see where the renderings were the warm season views. This is more of the cold season views, where everything is kind of monochrome, and as you can see down in these shots, how it's kind of like a thick layer of snow up to 3-4 feet or more throughout extended periods of the year, kind of an ice aesthetic. In this view you can see the access to underground parking, and this east view here, You can, this is looking towards the water. You can kind of see a tunnel here, and admin housing windows. Here you can kind of see some of the aesthetic of the winter with undulating banks of snow and the monochrome nature of the entire site. I appreciate any feedback that you can give me on this presentation. I appreciate your time and taking interest in it. And again, my name is Greg Shue, and this is my final project presentation. Thank you.